It is a beautiful day here at Bernheim Arboretum and Research Forest, and I'm so excited to be taking a hike today. And it's been such a long time that I made a checklist of things that I'm going to need today. I know for sure, just in case. So I have spread out my supplies here because we're going to have a good time and nothing's going to keep this day from being perfect. So I've got my handy hiking bag here, and I brought my mask just in case I run across somebody on the trail that I can be respectable of the quarantine and COVID-19 and practice safe social distancing. So I'm going to keep this in my back pocket so I'm ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to need for a safe and enjoyable hike is my water bottle, because I'm going to get thirsty, because there's nothing worse than being an hour away from your car and having a dry mouth. And you know, dehydration does happen. So we've got to stay properly hydrated. So first thing in my bag. Second thing is, you know, the sun is going to come out, and I got my hat. This will help keep the sun off my forehead, and I brought my sunblock because it's going to help protect my skin from sunburn and future skin cancers perhaps, because there's nothing worse than a sunburn, especially 2-3 days after your hike, because you want to have good memories and come back again. What else might I need? Well, you know, it is a woods, and in the woods there's bugs, and I hate bug bites. So I brought some bug spray to help prevent bug bites, and that way I'm protecting my skin and nobody will bother me, and I won't have any bad memories this way. And not that anything bad would happen, but they call them accidents for a reason. So I'm going to bring my first aid kit just in case I get a scrape or a scratch. I've got band-aids and ointments that I can protect myself and tend to it better when I get home in a safe environment. So I got my safety kit here. So what do I like to do when I'm on hikes? I love trees, and I like identifying trees, and there's lots of trees like this beautiful oak tree that I'm underneath that I'm familiar with, but there's lots of trees that I'm not familiar with. So one of the things I've learned to help my hikes be more enjoyable is bringing guidebooks, because that way I can identify a leaf, I can identify a bark, and it will really help make the hike more exciting, more engaging. It'll help me connect with nature, which I think is Bernheim's tagline. So, if you wear glasses, bring your glasses, because how bummed would that be to not have your glasses where you couldn't read your guidebook? So bring your glasses too. And you know, I'm probably going to see something really, really neat that I'm going to want to tell my family about when I get home if they're not with me, or my friends. So I don't have a fancy camera, but I do have my cell phone. Speaking of cell phone, I always keep it on silent so I'm not disturbing those in nature. I'm just keeping it to myself. But also, you may want to let, if you're coming by yourself, people know where you're going. That way they know where you're at, or if there's a ranger, letting the ranger know if you're going to be on a really long hike. So bring your cell phone. And another thing I really like to do is look for birds. So I remembered this trip to bring my binoculars. This way I'll make sure I always see those birds that look really neat from far off. And last but not least, I'm highly allergic to poison ivy, so I brought my reminder here just to remind me what poison ivy looks like, so I don't make that mistake twice. So I am set for an awesome day here at Bernheim, and let's go have fun.